Good morning, dear students. So today we will be learning about a new chapter. As we have already completed seed, so the next chapter in your syllabus is respiration in plants. Okay, so we'll be starting about the chapter respiration. I hope you all are going through my video lectures and everything is clear to you. Also, the doubts or the questions that you are all asking me, I hope I am able to give all the answers to all your particular questions. So now moving on, we will be having the chapter respiration in plants. What does respiration in plants means? See, can any one of you tell me what is respiration? Is it possible for any one of you to comment below or to tell in the particular class timing what is respiration? See, what is respiration? Respiration is that for doing any particular work, we need certain energies in ourselves, right? The food that we eat, it gives us energy. Now, the food definitely gives us energy, but now you all are in class 9, and for one of your information I am telling you that we are following conscious biology class 9. So see, we are taking in the food from our mouth. Okay, it is going inside our body. Now what happens is that the particular thing that gives us energy is the glucose. Now glucose definitely gives us energy. But we need oxygen to respire. We all know that. Now you would have a question in your mind that, sir, if we get energy from glucose itself or from the food that we are taking in itself, then what is the particular need of having oxygen? We do not need oxygen, right? But my dear students, what happens is that while we take in oxygen, what happens, we will be going through it. While we take in oxygen, the particular oxygen react with the glucose molecule, and form carbon dioxide, water, and another byproduct which is very important is energy. And this particular energy helps us to do all the work that we do. So if we do not take in oxygen, it would not be possible for us to break this particular glucose molecule to this energy. And if we ask for what are the byproducts of these reactions or the byproduction of respiration, we can tell the byproduct of respiration is nothing but we get water and carbon dioxide. These two are known as byproducts. Okay, these two are known as byproducts, and the main thing for which we respire is for the breaking of this glucose molecule into energy. This is very important. Okay, now we'll be studying about respiration in plants. Okay, I hope what is respiration, this particular thing is clear. Now we'll be going to respiration in plants. Okay, please follow your book. Page number is 55. So I am using this book. I hope all of you have this book, Conscious Biology ICSC class 9. Like all other organisms, plants too require energy for carrying out bodily activities. In this chapter, you will learn about the two kinds of respiration. Okay, now respirations are of two kinds. What are the two kinds of respiration? We have one is aerobic, another one is anaerobic. These are the two kinds of respiration that we will be studying in this particular chapter. So what is aerobic? Aerobic is the respiration in presence of oxygen, and anaerobic is a respiration which is in absence of oxygen. Okay, this is very important, and only these particular things we are going to study in this chapter. So respiration in plants, the manner in which diffusion of respiratory gases occurs, as well as a number of interesting experiments to demonstrate respiration in plant. We will be going through this particular thing in this chapter. Okay, this is chapter number 7, respiration in plants. What is respiration? All living cells in a plant as well as those in animals requires energy for various activities of the body. For example, building up protein from amino acid, making starch from glucose, absorbing minerals from the soil, or laying down of the cell wall by plant cell are all such activities that requires energy. This energy is made available by breakdown of glucose, a simple carbohydrate. Now what is glucose? Glucose is a simple carbohydrate. The chemical breakdown of glucose occurs by utilizing energy and is represented by the following overall reactions. So we will be quickly writing this reaction, and this reaction is very important. My dear student, this reaction is very important. Okay. See, C6H12O6. Okay, C6H12O6 plus O2. What does it gives out? It gives out carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. Carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. Okay, now to balance this equation, what do we need to put? We need to put 6 here and 6 here and 6 here. Okay, so this is a balanced equation. Now this particular thing or this particular compound C6H12O6, okay, this is known as glucose. This is oxygen, carbon dioxide. I know you all know this, you are in class 9. And this is energy. See, this particular energy is known as, or this particular reaction or respiration is known as aerobic respiration. Why aerobic respiration? Because it is in the presence of this oxygen molecule. Okay, thus this is known as aerobic respiration. Now we will be studying in more details about this particular reaction or this particular chapter. There are 3 important characteristics of respiration in this equation. So there are 3 important characteristics of respiration in this particular equation. What are they? The first point is the breakdown of glucose, that is this glucose, it gets breakdown. C6H12O6 to carbon dioxide and water does not occur in a single step. Okay, it does not occur in a single step, but in a series of chemical steps. These steps can occur in 2 major phases. Number 1 is glycolysis, where glucose gets converted to pyruvate occurring in the cytoplasm, and number 2 is Krebs cycle, where pyruvate occurs into CO2 plus 6H2O plus ATP occurring in the mitochondria. So we are making points of this particular chapter. What happened? Glucose first gets converted to pyruvate. Okay, glucose first gets converted to pyruvate, and this is known as glycolysis. This is known as glycolysis. So this is step 1, and in step 2 what we find is, we found that this pyruvate gets converted to this thing, that is 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus energy. Okay, so I hope you are looking into this. What happens? Step 1, glucose gets converted to pyruvate and this is known as glycolysis. Step 2, pyruvate gets converted to 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus energy and this is known as Krebs cycle. This is known as Krebs cycle. Okay. Each breakdown step is due to a particular enzyme. So, how this breakdown is occurring? This breakdown is occurring with the help of a particular enzyme. Okay. Point number 3, please look into your book, you will find that the energy liberated in the breakdown of the glucose molecule is not all in the form of heat, but a large part of it is converted into chemical energy in the form of ATP. Okay. Now, what is energy? Energy is nothing but it is a heat. Okay. But how we get here is that the energy liberated in the breakdown of the glucose molecules is not at all in the form of heat. It is not always in the form of heat. Okay. What happens there is a large part of it is converted into chemical energy in the form of ATP. So, the energy that we get it in the form of ATP. What is ATP? ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. Okay, ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate and another more term you will come across is ADP. ADP. It is adenosine diphosphate. We will come across this ATP term. Okay. Now what happens? A chemical substance called adenosine triphosphate. When energy in the form of ATP is used, the ATP is converted to ADP and again more energy is available for further breakdown of glucose. The ADP is reconverted to ATP and so it goes on and on. 1 mole of glucose on complete oxidation yields 38 molecules of ATP. Okay, and 1 mole of glucose on complete oxidations gives energy which is actually 38 moles. Okay, which is actually 38 moles. You can follow your book. I would suggest you to follow your book once for this particular diagram. Okay. Follow your book once and here we get 38 ATP. We get 38 ATP of energy. I hope up till this it is clear to you. Okay. Now we will be moving forward. Please look into this diagram. It is in 7.1 page number 55. You will find that the breakdown of food glucose in respiration. What happens? That glucose is breaking down into one is CO2, one is H2O and another one is energy. Now energy forms, some energies are heat which goes away, other form it comes in. What happened? It first get converted to it is formed in the form of ATP. Okay, see it is formed of the ATP. From ATP some energies are used in work, other turn into ADP and again into ATP. So this is a continuous cycle going on. Okay, now moving forward we will be having ATP, the energy currency of the cell. Okay, the ATP is the energy currency of the cell. All activities inside a living cell needs energy which is available in the form of ATP as the immediate source. Hence this chemical compound ATP is described as the energy currency of the cell. Now moving forward, living organisms shows two type of metabolic activities. One is anabolic, another one is catabolic. Okay, so I hope up till this it is clear to you and I am rubbing up this board. See, it is a video lecture and you all have the features of pausing it, rewinding it, and you can get whatever I have written over here. But as of now I am clearing the board so that we can continue further. And my dear student, I think up till ATP, ADP, this cycle, pyruvate, it is clear to you all. So we will be moving to what is anabolic and what is catabolic reaction. So living organism shows two type of metabolic activities. What are they? Number one is anabolic and number two is catabolic. Okay. Metabolic activities are of two kinds. One is anabolic, another one is catabolic. So what are they? See, constructive or biosynthetic process is it consumes energy, and this is known as anabolic. Okay, it consumes energy, it is known as anabolic. See my dear student, the only reason I am going through this chapter line by line is because you have only a year left for your board. Okay, be it a class of 6, 7, 8, we or me, I would not have gone in such detailed, but for your benefit I am going line by line and making you understand each and every point. If you go through this video very well, then it would be very clear to you and you will be having no problem. So first my dear student, make your concept clear. Your concept should be clear. If your concept is once clear, then no one can stop you. Okay, so see here, it consumes energy and this is a constructive process, and here it gives out energy. It gives out energy and it is a destructive process. It is a destructive process. Now it would be very clear when we will be going through the example ones. Respiration is a catabolic process of releasing energy from glucose for carrying out life processes. So respiration is a catabolic process because it gives out energy. We know that it gives out energy, right? Now one thing we will be coming across is respiration versus burning. What are respiration versus burning? Respiration is a cellular process, we all know that, but burning is a non-cellular process happening it can happen in any of the thing. It can happen in the non-living objects as well. Okay, now respiration occurs at body temperature, burning occurs at a high temperature at the ignition point. Respiration occurs in a series of chemical steps. Burning or combustion, it occurs in a single step. It is carried out by enzyme. This is very important. Respiration is carried out by enzyme, but in burning or combustion it is carried out by heat. Okay, now it is a biochemical process. Definitely respiration is a biochemical process and it is a physiochemical process. Burning is a physiochemical process. Energy is liberated as ATP and some heat, and here all energy are liberated as heat and light. In burning all the energies are liberated as heat and light, but in respiration we get it in mainly in ATP and some in light. Okay, now no light energy is produced in respiration. See, we take in oxygen, we gives out carbon dioxide. Have you ever found that we are producing light? No, not at all. But in burning or combustion, light energy is liberated. Okay, now one more thing is that the entire plant respires. So this is a common mistake that we make. Okay, I am going through this quickly. This is a common mistake that we make. We say that plants take in carbon dioxide and gives out oxygen. No, it does that, but it is only during the process of photosynthesis. During process of photosynthesis, what happens? It takes in what it takes in during photosynthesis, CO2, and takes out O2. Okay, this is on during the photosynthesis, but during respiration it takes in O2 and gives out CO2. Okay. And this particular photosynthesis, it occurs only in the presence of sunlight. Only in the presence of sunlight this occurs. Okay, but respiration, it occurs all the time. So it is very conceptually wrong to tell that plant take in carbon dioxide and gives out oxygen. No, not at all. Plants always during respiration takes in oxygen and gives out carbon dioxide, but only during photosynthesis, that during the daytime, that we found that plant takes in carbon dioxide and gives out oxygen. This is only during the time of photosynthesis. Okay. And one more thing, that the entire plant respires. It is not that only a particular plant. See, photosynthesis, where it occurs only in the leaves. It occurs only in the leaves. Okay, but respiration occurs in the whole plant. It occurs in the whole plant, not only in a particular part. It occurs in the whole plant. Okay, so in this class, up till this we will learn. On the next class we will continue about the two kind of respiration, one is aerobic, another one is anaerobic. Okay, so please go through this video very attentively. For any of the queries, you can ask me in the comment section, or you can just mail to me, or you can for my students, you can ask in the class timing as well. Okay, take care, be safe, as the global pandemic is going outside. Take care of yourself, of your family, and study well, study hard, because it is not going to stop. We are in the mode of online education, so I am trying to teach you as much as I can, and I am going through this particular chapter, or in this your particular class I am trying to go it line by line, so that it would be very easy for you to understand each and everything. Okay, so take care, be safe, and we will be meeting in the next video lecture, where we will be continuing with aerobic and anaerobic type of respiration. Thank you.